Welcome to the Kirtan Cafe. Hare Krishna Tucson, and welcome again to the Kirtan Cafe, where we offer the best of kirtans and bhajans from around the world and from local artists. I'm your host, Krishna Namdas. And opening up the Kirtan Cafe today was a beautiful kirtan of the Maha mantra from local Tucson group, the Chaparral Kirtan Band, from their album Big Desert Sky. So to begin our first set today in the Kirtan Cafe, we will be hearing from Sri Prahlad with a wonderful bhajan of the traditional Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya that he calls Reaching the Stars.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya.
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Lakshmi Narayana Vasudeva He Lakshmi Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayan O Vasudeva Govinda Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Oh Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva 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 Oh He Lakshmi Narayana Vasudeva He Lakshmi Narayana Vasudeva Oh He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Oh He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath
A man during his travels once came up to a mountain where he found a lady meditating under a tree. Quite intrigued by her presence in a solitary place like this, he asked her, "What are you doing here alone in such a secluded place?" The lady replied that she had a lot of work to do on that mountain. A little amused, the man asked, "A lot of work? I cannot see anything around you here. What do you have to do up here on this mountain?" The lady replied, well, I have to train 2 hawks and 2 eagles, teach 2 rabbits, discipline 1 snake, motivate a donkey, and tame a lion. And if I might ask you, where are they? I don't see any of them up here, questioned the man. Actually, sir, you'll never be able to see them because they all live inside here, within me, said the lady. The hawks stare at everything that comes to me. People, good or bad. Situations, good or bad. Things, good or bad. And I have to work hard to train them to focus on the good side. The hawks represent the vision behind my eyes. And the 2 eagles, with their claws, can hurt and destroy. I have to train them not to hurt. Those eagles are my hands that need to do something constructive for the world and not create or engage in anything hurtful or destructive. Rabbits are very swift and they want to go wherever they want to go. I have to teach them to not just run around, but run in the right direction. After all, what use is the speed if there is no direction? The rabbits represent my feet and I always want them to go in the right direction in life. The donkey is often lethargic and at times acts very stubborn. I need to motivate it to continue on with its work. My mind is exactly like the donkey. It takes up something but then loses the enthusiasm to continue, and also can be very obstinate at times. A lot of hard work goes into dealing with this donkey, sir, to plead with it to keep going on and on. The most difficult to tame, however, is the snake. Although it is locked in a strong cage with 32 bars, it's always ready to sting, bite, and poison anyone nearby. I have to discipline it, and that is my tongue. I have one lion too. Oh, how proud, how vain. He thinks he's the king. I have to tame him and show him his real position, and that's my ego. So now you see, my dear sir, I have lots of work to do up here on the mountain. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us have lots of work to do as well. Internal work that can transform our external life. So let's stop gossiping. Let's stop criticizing. Let's stop evaluating and judging others. Let's start looking at and working on our own lives. Isn't it said, yesterday I was trying to be clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today, I'm trying to be wise, so I know that I need to change myself.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Balaba Kripamoya Gopi Jana Balaba Kripamoya Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Randana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Randana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivaradhare Gopi Chanda Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadadare Hey Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadadare Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maha Charana Padma Kevala Bhakrati Sarva Mano Muisavadana Mate Mano Muisavadana Mate Yahara Prasare Prapti hoya aite Krishna prapti hoya aite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kahoriya Akya Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kahoriya Akya Anakari Homane Asha Anakari Homane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati Ye Prasadi Pure Sarva Asha Ye prasade pure sarva asha Ye prasade pure sarva asha Chakudano Diloje Jamme Jamme Prabhu Se Chakudano
that was Hungarian heavy metal group Replika, offering us an acoustic version of the traditional bhajan Shri Guru Vandana from their album Acoustica. And before that was Kripamoya from his incredible album The Morning Program Songbook, offering up the traditional bhajan Jaya, Radha, Madhava. Then we heard from His Grace Gaur Gopal Das, giving us 6 aspects to transform our lives. And also in that set, we heard from Karnamrita Devi Dasi from her amazing album Dasi, Prayers by Women, with a lovely bhajan titled Draupadi. And we began that set with Sri Prahlad from his incredible album One Voice, One Heart, with a wonderful bhajan of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya that he titled Reaching the Stars. You are in the Kirtan Cafe, and my name is Krishna Namdas, and you are tuned into KMKRLP FM Tucson.
Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Shri Vrindavan. Shri Govinda,
makes me dream of embarking on a journey towards you. But the space between us feels insurmountable. I have gone down so many meaningless roads. There is no other place for me to go now. Will I ever enter your sacred land again? Please forgive me. Don't reject me. My heart is heavy and filled with longing as I follow the distant echoes of your flute. When I reach out to you in helpless desperation, it seems that you have tricked me once again. You are always one step out of reach and keep me eagerly wanting. When will I give myself to you completely and rest in the comfort of your embrace? To capture you forever within my heart is my truest and deepest desire. Like a dying man, I count the days, while the separation from you becomes unbearable for me.
Shri Govinda, Gopinata, Jai Radha, Jai Krishna, Jai Shri Vrindavan. Shri Govinda, Gopinata, Madhava, Jai Radha, Jai Radha, Jai Radha, Jai Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagannath Swami Nayana Pattagahi Jagannath Swami Nayana Pattagahi Jagannath Swami Nayana Pattagahi
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal 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 Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal 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 Jaya Jaya Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal 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 Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Have you ever considered taking your life, committing suicide? If you have, don't do it. Sadly, every year, almost 1 million people commit suicide, 20 times more try, and a lot more think about it. The cause for thoughts of suicide are many. Depression, physical pain, bad relationships, hopelessness, and financial problems are some. Well, whatever sufferings you experience, one thing for sure, you can't get away from them. There is no escape from troubles and suffering. Even if you take this life, the same problems return in the next. Indeed, the Vedas say that reaction for suicide is that one becomes a ghost before again acquiring a new body. The law of karma says that what we experience at present is a consequence of acts of the past, and we can't escape our past by suicide. Suicide is not a solution to problems or to suffering. It simply transfers the inevitable from this body to the next. Instead, we need to take responsibility for our suffering because it's of our own making. We're not innocent victims. Even if the events and circumstances of our lives seem incredibly unjust or inexplicable, everything happens for a reason, and those reasons go beyond just this one life. That said, we should not despair. There's hope. The wisdom of yoga recommends two things. Rethink what life is really about and cultivate high levels of tolerance. Now let's start with the rethink of life. In many cases, people come to the conclusion that life isn't worth living because their purpose is wrong, that purpose being bodily indulgence. And when indulgence is obstructed, people think of giving up on life. But the real purpose of life is inner, spiritual development, self-realization. In that effort, there's no failure. It harms no one, and it satisfies the inner self, the soul. So a rethink of where you've gone astray and how to recalibrate your life is in order. But the question still remains, what to do with the current suffering? That's the second point. The answer is, increase your tolerance level. Cultivating tolerance means learning mind and sense control, as taught in the Bhagavad Gita, and chanting mantras consisting of the names of the Supreme like Hari and Rama. These two practices empower you to make the most difficult situation bearable. So when life seems pointless, remember, you can't get away from your karma, but you can change your life to one that doesn't make more karma, a spiritually oriented life, a satisfying life. And in the meantime, tolerate reactions to the past until your spiritual practices bear their fruit and give you entrance into a karma-free existence, a suffering-free existence, a euphoric existence.
Well, you've chosen the life of a sailor, my dear. With each rolling wave, new adventures appear. But if I neglect to speak of the storms that creep up behind like the devil, I'd be lying. You know, life on the sea is as blessed as it's cursed. The warmth of the sun turns quickly to thirst. Your head starts to spin as the options get thin. And sometimes even the wind just stops blowing. So I wrote this song for you, to remind you of what's true, to keep your boat sailing straight and true. These words can see through. When times get tough, the seas are rough, this song can be like a compass to guide you through, to guide you through. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare There are days that you won't believe you'll survive. Black water surrounds your boat on all sides. Your eyes start to leak as you stare at the deep, realizing how far away you are from the shore. Think you hear voices from below the waves. Your mind starts to play with the shadows and shapes, convinced that the stories of monsters are true. But have faith that somewhere I'm singing in a small cottage down by the ocean. Keeping the light outside burning. No, you will never be forgotten. My hands on the guitar strumming. The voice in my chest is rising. I'm singing this song for you. You know I wrote this one for you, to remind you of what's true, to keep your boat sailing straight and true. These words can't see through. Times get tough, seas are rough. This song can be like a compass to guide you through, guide you through. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
And that was a beautiful tune from Gauravani featuring Revati Prema called Compass. And before that was His Holiness Sivarama Swami talking to us about the serious subject of suicide. And we also heard in that set from the Radha Krishna Temple, London, offering us a traditional kirtan of Govinda Jaya Jaya from an album released in 1971 and produced by George Harrison. And before that was an artist called Hari, giving us a psychedelic-flavored kirtan of the Maha Mantra. And we started out this set with Hari Kirtan Kauffman featuring Vrindavan Favors and Lilashakti Sesani with a beautiful tune titled When Will I See You Again? You were in the Kirtan Cafe and listening to KMKR LP 99.9 FM, Tucson, Arizona.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Yo, I'm just a caterpillar in a cocoon. Will I ever be a beautiful butterfly? Cause I just wanna run and fly and taste the nectar from the blooms and bathe underneath the moon of Gauranga. My soul hungers for prasadam, so I grab my japamala and I vibrate the names out of Krishna Rama. Divine bliss, I'm so deep in the trance. I hear your voice say, please, can I have this dance? As I give you my hands, you look so deep in my eyes. I feel naked and ashamed, I wanna run and hide. You see everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I deserve hell, but you tell me that you love me. You tell me that you never lift your gaze from me, and not a second goes by that I ain't on your mind. It's been a million lifetimes and I've never grown weary, patiently waiting for that beautiful moment that we tell me. What in the world could it be? I just get this feeling that takes over me, and I know that you are all I need. So why do I keep pushing you away from me? But your love is something divine, the way you feel on my lips as I whisper your name, and nothing's the same. I've lost interest in dead things. Give me life. I wanna talk about you when I'm on the mic. I wanna help them see you in a new light. I never wanna lose sight. I only want my vision to get clearer till it's getting too bright, where every step's a dance underneath the moonlight, and every word a beautiful melody. Before you got lost in my energy, I was your everything. Remember when we used to sit underneath desire trees, and you could ask for anything but you desired me. Your love inspired me, so I reciprocated feelings of elation. Away from you I got this gaping hole in my heart that I can't fill, so I've been filling it with junk like a landfill. That's real. Pulls me in every time. No matter where I go, I'm home when I look into your eyes. Yeah. Can we dance just one last time and make it last forever? I am yours and you are mine. You tell me what in the world could it be? I just get this feeling that takes over me, and I know that you are all I need. So why do I keep pushing you away from me? But your love never tires when I'm lost in desires. But your love never fades when I'm faded and jaded, and your love stays the same when I'm running away. It's your love, baby, that's pulling me right back to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, G-Mata. It's always been your love. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You know, with our lives that we have, heard a lot of people talking about how their mind is going here and there and everywhere, and they can't seem to get a grasp on controlling their mind. So how can we control our restless mind?
As somebody who has ADHD, I can relate to this a lot. Because it constantly feels like a TV is changing channels within my head, and I've had to practice for years to get control over it, and I'm still practicing. But it is said in one of our ancient literatures called the Bhagavad Gita that the mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So when the mind is your best friend, you have it under control, and the mind is putting in things that are good for you to do. When the mind is your worst enemy, it's telling you, go here, go there, oh, this looks good, oh, that looks good. So one of the ways that we actually can control the mind is, as I mentioned before, yoga means to connect or to link with the Supreme. So we had to start this process of linking with God, linking with the Supreme. And one of the easiest ways to do that, I talked about meditation a little bit before and how I meditate in the morning. So we don't have a lot of time to just, sit down for hours and try to artificially get it under control. But everybody can chant, And somebody told me one time, they said, just try chanting this mantra. Don't do anything. Don't do anything else. Just try chanting this mantra. I didn't have beads. I wasn't a monk, and all I had was a card with this Maha mantra on it. And I would just look at it in the morning, or I would look at it when my mind was going crazy, and I would chant this Hare Krishna mantra that you're hearing on this radio station. And then my mind would feel more peaceful, my mind would feel more calm. And still, it would kind of put little things like, okay, do this or do that I knew I didn't need to do right then. But I was able to say no. No, we're going to do this. And the more you're able to kind of tell your mind, no, this is what we're doing. And realize that I'm in control here, not the mind. So we conquer the mind with our intelligence. So by our intelligence, and through this meditation process, we're able to tell the mind, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do this. And it's and it takes practice. What I'm saying sounds easy in theory, but we have to practice just like anybody. If you're playing a sport and you want to be pro, you have to practice. To do your job, to get to the level that you've already had to put in some hours. So in the same way, to actually control our restless mind, I wish I could tell you there was a switch you could flip. And really, there's no switch you can flip. People want instant gratification in this day and age. But, by just practicing, as you practice, it gets easier and easier and easier. In the same way, these people that do this 100 push-up challenge, 100 push-ups a day, this is really popular on YouTube now. They'll tell you the first 2 weeks are hell. And then it starts to get easier and easier and easier. Now I think they have one guy that's doing 350 a day, like it's nothing. So we have to be willing to put in the practice to control the restless mind. And meditation is a good way for doing that, especially chanting, because it engages our senses. But we have to be willing to work at it.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Jaya
So we began that set with a lovely kirtan of the Maha Mantra by Padmarani. And after that, we heard a really nice tune from local Vaishnava monk and musical artist Govinda Madhava with his single release called Your Love. Then we heard from Kirtan Cafe's series of interviews with local Vaishnava monks called 9 Essential Questions. This segment is ending our interview with Her Grace Lavanga Devi Dasi, answering the question, how can we control our restless mind? And we ended that set with a wonderful kirtan of the Maha Mantra led by His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Swami from one of his amazing albums titled The Miracle of Love of God. So I hope you enjoyed your time in the Kirtan Cafe. I've been your host, Krishna Namdas, and the Kirtan Cafe is open every Monday and Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. But remember, if you miss any past shows of the Kirtan Cafe, then you can always check out all past episodes at our podcast site at kirtancafe.podbean.com. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions about the Kirtan Cafe, you can visit our website at kirtancafe.wixsite.com/website. And you can also look us up on Facebook. Also, if you are interested in the philosophy that is presented here in the Kirtan Cafe, you can let us know at our website, or simply email us at kirtancafe@yahoo.com, and we'll be happy to send you some literature about this philosophy absolutely free. So until we meet again in the Kirtan Cafe, please take care, have a splendid week, and don't forget to chant Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening. Hare Krishna.